let us understand what is Docker, right. Docker is an open platform for developing, shipping and running applications. Okay. Docker enables you to separate your applications from your infrastructure so that you can deliver software quickly with the help of the concept of containers. With Docker, you can manage your infrastructure in the same ways you manage your applications, right. By taking advantage of Docker's methodologies for shipping, testing and deploying code, you can significantly reduce the delay between writing code and running it in production. Manually, if you are not using Docker, if you are not using the concept of container, right, you have to do lot of settings. Once I write code, to write code and execute itself in my local machine, I have to do lot of changes. I have to do lot of configuration settings. I have to install the software, I have to load the dependencies, I have to make sure all the settings are properly done. Right, only then I can execute the code. After that, the same code, if I want to run it in production, there also in production I have to take care of all those steps. Only then I can do, or I can execute the program, right. So Docker is one software which will help you in reducing the delay between writing the code and running it in the production. Okay. So let's understand more details about it. Docker provides tooling and a platform to manage life cycle of your containers. Okay. So we know what is a container now. So it is a platform. Docker is a software. It's a platform where I can create container, I can delete container, I can do all that stuff with relevant to containers. Develop your application and its supporting components using containers. The container becomes the unit for distributing and testing your application. So you are writing, see, we are writing code. This code I am creating an image, then I am pushing it into container. This container which contains my code can be pushed into testing environment for testing. All that is possible with the help of Docker. Now when you are ready, deploy your application into production environment as a container or as an orchestrated service. You can deploy your code into, you can deploy your application into production environment as a container, right. This works the same whether your production environment is a local data center or a cloud provider or a hybrid of both. Wherever you want, you can run your container, right. What are the benefits of using Docker, or indirectly what all things Docker can help me do or help me in making my job easy, right. Fast, consistent delivery of your applications, that is the first benefit. Docker streamlines the development life cycle by allowing developers to work in standard environments using local containers which provide your applications and services. Okay. So we will be working in standardized environments using local containers. Containers are great for CI/CD workflows because we are pushing code. See, in continuous integration, continuous delivery pipeline, right, I am just with some trigger, automatically lot of stuffs are happening there, right. So this can be much more easier with the help of containers. When we studied about CI/CD pipeline, we have seen how by making a change in the code, automatically a trigger is executing and it is testing, it is making some change, it is deploying in the production. That is okay, but what if the version was different? What if the settings were different? In that case, there will be problems. So actually, that concept of CI/CD combined with containers can make your production deployment very, very fast. Okay, right. So it can help us in fast and consistent delivery of our applications, right. Let us see an example. Developers write code locally in their local machine and share their work with their colleagues using Docker containers. I will write the code, Okay, and I will put that code in this and I will send this container to my colleague. They use Docker to push their application to a test environment. Okay, it means the CI/CD pipeline. They use the same Docker software to push that application which is there inside my container into test environment, where automatically, because of that CI/CD pipeline, some testing will run automatically. Automated and manual testing happens there. We know already in CI/CD pipeline, basic testing happens there automatically. Right. Now, when developers find bugs, let us say when I was running the code automatically, when automated tests were running, some issues might come, some bugs might come. The developers can fix them in the development environment and redeploy them to the test environment for testing and validation using the same container. Right? When testing is complete, getting the fix to the customer, or it means what it means to say that when you want to deploy that in production, is as simple as pushing the updated image to the production environment. Right? So, what is happening here? Docker is helping us in fast and consistent delivery. What way? I wrote my code, I pushed it into container. Actually, it is not directly pushing. I wrote my code, I create an image, I push that into container. This container I am pushing it into repository, GitHub repository, let us say GitHub. Once I commit into GitHub repository, automatically some testing will run, that we know through CI/CD pipeline. Some basic testing will execute, those testing will run automatically, and if there is some issue, the developer will fix them. Then it will the same thing will be pushed automatically into the production environment. So, Docker basically helps us in fasting, in agile development. Agile means fast, agility means speed. Right? Then the second one, responsive deployment and scaling. In what way? Right? Docker's container based platform allows for highly portable workloads. Okay, you can shift it easily, you can port it. Docker containers can run on a developer's local laptop or a physical or a virtual machine, in a data center or cloud provider or a mixture of environments. Once you create a container which contains the image, this can execute anywhere in any environment, in a local laptop, in a physical server, in a virtual machine, in a physical machine, or a data center or a cloud, or anywhere in mixture of different environments. It is portable, that is why we are saying it is portable. It can be executed, it can be run in any environment. Right? Docker's portability and lightweight nature also makes it easy to dynamically manage workloads. Why? Scaling up or tearing down is very quick, because container is lightweight. Container is lightweight. It takes very less time for us to actually scale up. If you want to scale it, make it multiple copies of that particular instance, it will be done very quickly. Or you want to reduce the number of instances, that also can be done very quickly. Right? So, this is the second benefit. Responsive deployment and scaling is very quick if we are using the Docker software, or we are using the concept of containers through Docker. And the third one, running more workloads on same hardware. Right? Docker is lightweight and fast, so is container. It provides a viable, cost effective alternative to hypervisor based virtual machine. Okay, hypervisor means it is a software which is used to create virtual machines. Like in Windows operating system, I can create a virtual machine and I can install Linux in that. So, Docker is much more faster than the hypervisor. So, you can use more of your server capacity to achieve your business goals. So, in my machine, let us say I have some 16 GB RAM, right? Or let's say there is 2 TB storage. I am using a very less of that storage. If I am using Docker, and through Docker if I am creating container, I can effectively utilize this infrastructure. Docker is perfect for high density environments and for small and medium deployments where you need to do more with fewer resources. Okay, so these are the different benefits what we have with the Docker, right? Basically Docker is a software which will help me, Docker will help me in, right, developing, shipping and running the applications. Okay, I can do testing, I can do deployment, everything can be done with the help of Docker, because it is actually a tool for managing containers. Right, if you remember the example, I said image is your recipe. Okay, container is the lunch box or the box, right? Docker is the kitchen. Okay, so you will be creating this image using Docker, then you will be putting that image into container using Docker. Why? Kitchen has some boxes. I will pick up one box, I will put this image into that. I hope you understood the relation between image, container and Docker, right? Image contains is my food, container is my box, and this food is prepared in the kitchen. These boxes are stored or boxes are managed using this kitchen, right? So this is the basic understanding about Docker. We have a lot to understand about Docker. We will see more details about Docker when we understand about the Docker architecture.